Hey everybody, Miss Dietrich here. Neelam is pouring sand into a clear box to make sand art. The box is a right rectangular prism and the base of the box is 7 inches by 2.5 inches. She pours in red sand until the volume of the sand is 26 1/4 cubic inches. Then she pours in blue sand. Now the volume of the sand is 43 3/4 cubic inches. How much does the level of the sand rise when Neelam adds the blue sand? So basically we need to find this height, which is what it would be for the red sand. We need to find this height, which is what it would be for the blue sand. And then we need to subtract the difference between this purple line and this green line, which would really be the difference, right? That would be this, I represented that with yellow on the rectangular prism. All right, so we need to find the height, both the purple and the green height, by using the formula twice. So let's say we're going to start, we have to, pick one to start with. So let's say we're going to start with the red scenario, right? Then the base would be the 7 and the 2.5, and we know the volume because they tell us that, and then we have to figure out the height. So we substitute in the numbers into the formula. Then we're looking at 7 being multiplied with the 2.5, which is the same as 2.5, and we can get away with turning that into a decimal because that would terminate, times the height. We need to simplify this. 7 times 2.5 would be 17 5/10 times the height. And now would be a good time to turn this into a decimal. This is a decimal and it does terminate, would be 26 25/100. By the way, you don't have to turn it into a decimal. So if you have a calculator, some people prefer that. All right, so let's come back to that and let's make sure we know what numbers to substitute in to get, this line right here, the length of that green line. So we would substitute in this number because that's what they're telling us the volume is. And then we still need the 7 and the 2.5. That's still going to be the bottom dimensions. And we're still going to get that 17 5/10 when we simplify these two numbers. 7 times 2 5/10 is 17 5/10. And let's turn this into a decimal. This is a decimal, would look like this, 43 75/100. All right, so the next step is to apply our algebra and to ask yourself, what's the opposite of multiplying a variable by 17 5/10? It would be to divide by 17 5/10. And we have to do that to both sides of the equation. All right, and likewise, that has to happen over here as well. All right, so over here, this will simplify and be 1. 1 times h would be h. And then over here, same thing. This would simplify to be 1. 1 times h would give us h. So here's what you need to do next. On your calculators, find what this number divided by this number is. Write that number down. On your calculator, put this number in, divide it by this number, and write that number down. And then you need to subtract those two numbers because, again, what you're going to be finding, you're going to be finding the green and you're going to be finding the purple dimensions. We need the yellow. So you have to subtract those two to get that as your final answer.